What's going on, everybody? I want to showcase what's been my favorite deck to play since he came out, really, and that's been Nick Fury. If you don't know, Nick Fury is 5 cost, 7 power, add 3 random 6 cost cards to your hand. So the way this deck works is we have a mini Beast bounce package with Agent 13, Mantis, Yondu, Angela, Cable, Beast. Basically, the main goal of this is generate cards for the collector with Mantis, Agent 13, and Cable. But also disrupt our opponent's deck with Mantis and Yondu. That gives you up to, or it's these 3 actually, you have up to 6 chances to disrupt your opponent's win condition if you hit your Mantis. You bounce them back with Beast, which helps you grow your Angela and your Collector. And then you just have a couple just kind of beefy top-end cards. A Rescue for 9 power is just solid. Iron Man doubles up a lane. Devil Dinosaur, because between all the card generation and Nick Fury, you're going to usually have a pretty full hand. Nick Fury is just a good card, and then the 6 cost cards that you generate, there's not a ton of 6 cost cards in the game right now. So typically, if you don't already have a winning position on board, Nick Fury gives you a pretty decent opportunity to kind of generate a win condition. The amount of times I've generated like an Arnim Zola that I've needed and hit it on like Devil Dinosaur has been great. Sometimes the perfect Doctor Doom. And there's an argument to say, like, why not just run that particular 6 cost card in your deck if you think it's that good? But I think having the flexibility of options sometimes, depending on your opponent, is solid. Again, not a top tier meta choice, but it's a fun deck to play that's using a lot of cards that you don't see all the time. So I like to play decks like that. That's why we're playing this one. So we have a clunky hand to start, but we'll see. Destroy Psylocke, so that means the upcoming either Mr. Negative or Wong will be slowed down a little bit, assuming those 2 are their main choices. This looks like Wong going. That might be just a loss now. Especially if they get Wong for free. If they don't snap, I'm not going to retreat. We'll play this out a bit. But this sequence of plays is basically a guaranteed win for them. We have to do this to try and win this lane, and then we'll see if we can contend with any of the other lanes afterwards, which I don't think we'll be able to. Alright, so they're going to get plus 8 power to this lane, which would be 20. And then we could get up to 11 power in this lane. They're going to get 5 plus 4. So we would be down here. If they play in this lane, they're going to go up to 16. We can get up to 13. And then they'd get -3. This would be tied. They'd have 11 here, 9-point advantage, and this would be too thin of an advantage, so we have to retreat. A lot of math there, but ultimately, the difference between getting Beast and Wong will end up being the difference in the game there. Sometimes you have the bad end of the stick when it comes to locations, and that's perfectly fine. You just have to know, like, is this recoverable, or do I just need to retreat, lose 1 cube, and move on to the next day? Now, Camartage is something I love to see with this deck, because it means like each of our disruption tools, if we draw them, things like Cable, Yondu, Mantis, are doubled up. So like Cable is going to take 2 cards from their deck, which, even though they're from the bottom, as we hopefully disrupt more and more, we'll find out more and more about their deck. And these cards are also free now. Or almost free from Quinjet. We're going to discard Agent 13. They're going to discard Electro. Let me drop down a Sunspot. And I think Scorpion's worth it. -2 to their whole hand is really good. Because that was 8 cards. We're going to get hit with a wave here. Am I willing to go for the Devil Dinosaur Iron Man right now, or do I just Nick Fury knowing I can play one of the 6-cost cards next turn? I think I Nick Fury knowing I can play one of the 6-cost cards next turn thanks to Quinjet.
Who they dig up this time?
Not the best. If I Odin, I will draw... I will not draw the rest of their decks. I don't have enough room on my deck. Or in my hand. Did I discard? What card did I discard? It was Agent 13, so hell is not that great. Also, if I Odin, I weaken their next play even more. But it just doesn't, like, vibe very nicely. Let's go for Devil Dino. Okay. Now, I feel like they have a pretty decent win here. But I'm trying to eye up if there's any outs. Angela and Odin would be 11 points. Give me a 15. That's not really enough. It also depends on where they play. It's like Angela and Odin here would give me 11. It really comes down to like guessing lanes, unless they can just flat out win one of these lanes as well. Because if they can just flat out win one of these lanes, like if they have a card to just win here, then we would lose anyway. I think we're at like upwards of 70 to 80% chance of losing, but I'm willing to play it out just to see what they've got. Oh, leader's a good one. If we would have played that here, we would have gotten 11. They would have an extra 1. They would have won that either way with leader. So that was pretty decent, pretty decent. And let's get one more. And this deck's not having a great showing, but I promise the win rate is better than it looks right now. You have to kind of throw out that first game just because, like, crap happens. And then that second game was just a good hard-fought match. I'm not mad at it at all. I don't like to Mantis turn 1 usually, unless I get a better idea of where they might be playing cards out. Next turn we can like Angela into Mantis, into maybe like 1-drop Beast, and then we'd have a buffed Angela and a couple 0-cost cards in hand. And we'll see how that can go for us. Our opponent is definitely slow playing this one out. But it's okay. Hell's Kitchen is actually great here to make sure that my follow-up plays work. Because now I can like Yondu Mantis or Yondu Cable. Probably Cable plus either Yondu or Mantis, and then I can beast that Looks like that opponent was AFK though, so we're gonna get one more game in. We had one throwaway loss, one throwaway win, one tough fought loss, and now let's see if we can get an actual final game in. Trip is matching my card back, so we are brothers in that. We'll start with the Yondu. When choice between Yondu and Mantis turn 1, I always go Yondu, just because a lot of decks don't run any 1-drops. Although this one did, or does. Let's go Collector for now. Playing out a little awkwardly here, but something like a Beast next turn would be fantastic. This might be a bot. Either that or Trip is going to play some Scarlet Witch shenanigans here and just completely rock my world this turn. Let's go for Mantis plus Beast. I don't want to be greedy for full value. I think 2 is perfectly fine. Yeah, there's a story. Trip is not a bot. Trip is just absolutely outplaying me. I can get 6 onto this lane, but like, do I want 6 onto this lane? I think it's worth a shot. Oh, I can get more than 6 actually. I think it's fine just because I don't really have any other better plays. They could be going for a Doom play here at some point. We're gonna destroy Korg. Angela into Scorpion. Solid. I think we still just go Fury here. Although we could go Angela into Arrow, but that's really not that great, but it also helps us keep pace on this spot. Oh no, we can't go Angela into Arrow. We can go Angela into Arrow next turn. So I think Fury is the play all the time. That'll buff up my Collector. There's possibilities that we get what would be good plays here? Doom would be solid. Ultron would be decent.
Still a little light.
And there's Doom. What does Magneto move? 3 and 4 cost, so it would not move any of these. I would just want to play Magneto as a stat stick. However, if I go Angela into Arrow here, I can pull things away from the hub, and then we would only lose to Dr. Doom. How do I feel about that? Because just playing Dr. Doom here doesn't win this location, only gets me to 12 here, which I don't feel great about. I think I'm willing to do that. Oh, they have 2 cards to play this turn. That is worse. Dracula, Iceman. Alright, so it depends on what they have in hand. It's a Wolverine. Okay. Whew, that was incredibly close.
Victory.
None of that is what I was expecting. That was not how I was expecting that endgame to go, but, you know, you take a win when you can get a win. What did I finish? Oh, another deal. Alright, I got to spend some of this stuff. Alright guys, well, that's going to be it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if there's any deck suggestions you have down below in the comment section, and we'll see you guys.